Hi, and welcome to another Contemplative Friday. So again, I just invite you to find a comfortable position. You can sit down in a chair, sit on the floor, legs crossed, and just have a nice, long, tall back. Stretch the neck a little bit, wiggle around, find a comfortable position. Take a few minutes to optimize your posture. Maybe look to the left, look to the right. Let your head come to an optimum comfortable middle. And if you'd like, gently close your eyes and take a long, slow, deep breath in. And a long, slow exhale out. And another long breath in to the count of 4 or 5. And exhale to the count of 4 or 5. And another long breath in to 4 or 5. And exhale to 4 or 5. And one more long, slow, deep breath in. And exhale, squeezing all the air out of your lungs, starting with your belly and rising up through your chest. Now let your breath return to a natural breathing rhythm. Relax your shoulders. Relax the muscles in your face, your forehead, the muscles around your eyes and around your mouth. Relax your jaw. And bring your focus to your breath. Feel the breath coming in. Feel the breath going out. Perhaps you feel it at the base of your nose as you breathe in and as you exhale. Or maybe you feel it best with your belly rising and falling with each breath. And try to empty your mind. Just focus on your breath. When thoughts enter, just note them. Think to yourself the word thinking, and then return to your breath. And now we're going to imagine a nitrite ion. So picture a nitrogen atom, just a sphere, and in your mind represents nitrogen. And beside it, another sphere that represents oxygen. And one more sphere that represents the other oxygen. And there'd be partial negative charges on those oxygens. And then around that nitrogen sphere, there'd also be a lone pair of electrons. So picture a lobe that contains some negative charges. And imagine that dissolved in water. So put that in a beaker. There are 3 atoms, negative charge on the oxygen, 2 lone pairs, NO2 minus. Let it swim around. And now imagine 19 more of those, so a total of 20. Just populate your beaker or your pool. For me, it's my whole mind is one big container of water, and I've just got this NO2 minus floating around. Imagine 20 of them. It's a weak base, so maybe one of them would grab a proton from water to become HNO2, so the oxygen would have a hydrogen on it. And in the process, the water would become OH minus. So we'd have a weakly basic solution. Now let's go ahead and add H pluses. So imagine a burette full of hydrochloric acid above your pool of water. You open the stopcock and you start dripping in hydrogen atoms that have lost their electrons, so H pluses. Those H pluses are strong acids, so they'll bond to the NO2 minus. So of those 20 NO2s, let some of them become HNO2s. Count how many NO2 minuses you have and how many HNO2s you have. And think about that ratio. What is the ratio of the base, NO2 minus, to the acid? So if you dripped in 8 H pluses, you would have 8 HNO2s and 12 NO2 minuses. So your ratio would be 12 over 8. That's the ratio that shows up in the Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. If we add some more H plus, you continue to change that ratio. More NO2 minus gets protonated. One NO2 turns into an HNO2 for every H plus you add, because H plus is a strong acid. So picture the H plus plopping into solution, an NO2 minus seeing it, grabbing it to become HNO2. NO2 minuses are going down in concentration, HNO2 going up in concentration. So we keep changing that ratio. And because pH is equal to pKa plus the log of that ratio, as we change that ratio, we change the pH. And in this case, because we're adding a strong acid, the pH would go down. But also notice that the change in pH is going to be small because the H plus that we're adding is largely reacting with the NO2 minus. We have the NO2 minus there to mop it up. So the H plus concentration doesn't really build up a whole lot. So we suppress the change in the pH by having the buffer present. And if we were to add OH minus, now that we've created some HNO2, the OH minus could react with it. And again, we would minimize the change in pH. So once we have a roughly equal concentration of HNO2 and NO2 minus, we can absorb strong acid and we could absorb strong base with relatively small changes in pH. Let's go to the point where we've added 1 H plus for every NO2 minus. So we started with 20 NO2 minuses. If we add 20 H pluses, we would now have a solution of just 20 HNO2s. All the NO2 minus originally present has been reacted. So it's a solution of HNO2, a weak acid. And we are at the equivalence point in this titration. We have added an equivalent amount of H plus for every NO2 minus we had present. We've converted it all into HNO2. So now we have a weak acid present in solution. We would expect this to give us a slightly acidic pH at this point, because the HNO2 is going to dissociate a little bit into NO2 minus and H plus. And we'd set up a nice diagram and we could calculate what that pH is. We no longer have a buffer because we don't have nearly equal concentrations of HNO2 and NO2 minus. It's all HNO2 essentially. And now if we were to open up the stopcock and add a little bit more H plus, we have no more NO2 minus for it to react with. So the H plus that we add just starts accumulating more and more and more H plus in solution, not reacted, because there's nothing for it to react with. So the pH is going to start dropping dramatically because the H plus concentration is growing rapidly. We've exhausted the buffer. There is no more buffer capacity, no more ability for the buffer to do its job because we didn't have more base for the acid to react with. And you can now return your focus to your breath. Just take a few moments here to breathe gently, clear your mind. Sometimes it helps to picture a big white screen. Or imagine all your thoughts emptying out of your head. As thoughts arise, just note them, say the word thinking, and return your attention to your breath. If you hear noises, let them be, take them in, let them go. We'll close with a few long, slow, deep breaths. So draw in through your nose deeply to the count of 4 or 5. And exhale to the count of 4 or 5. Another long, slow, deep breath in. And one more long, slow, deep breath in. And a full, complete exhale. Expel all the air. Begin to wiggle your toes, your fingers. Loosen your shoulders. Again, relax the muscles in your forehead, around your eyes, your mouth. Maybe turn your head to the left and to the right slowly. Gradually open your eyes. Return to the day. Use this as a way to step into the weekend, step into the day. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have an excellent weekend. See you soon. Bye.